When I woke up, I remember that everything was beautiful, everything was perfect. But as I grew, I began to see the reality of my life versus that of others. I understood that many boys and girls didn't have the privileges I had. Even though I had everything, I wasn't truly happy because in one way or another, I wanted others to have what I had so they could be happy too. Despite the scarcity, many people today believe that the kings and queens of every country on the planet are happy, have perfect lives, but that's not reality. On the contrary, we have more problems, more challenges, more disappointments, more sadness, more abuse, more frustration, more anger, more hatred, more helplessness, more betrayals. In short, it's like 3 times the pain of what people out there have. Life in a kingdom isn't perfect. In reality, it's a great mess. If one wears disguises and masks that they put on day after day, night after night. As time went on, my studies and education helped me more and more to understand myself and who I am and where I'm going. Over the years, I came to know it was love at first sight with King Charles III of England. It was all spontaneous. As time passed, we married, but the horror that awaited me was beyond my wildest dreams. I remember when you introduced me to your family, and outwardly they smiled, but inside I felt like they were saying, "Where did this insect come from?" When I first went to live in the kingdom, on one hand I felt accepted, but inside a voice said I wasn't the plague, the marginalized, poor sheep of the valley. In kingdoms, regardless of the country, if you don't come from a royal family, or at least from a noble family, you aren't accepted, even if the son or daughter is accepted superficially. In reality, I was never truly accepted because they saw me as an evolved woman, and injustice wasn't my style. And for a kingdom, that's a horror, banditry, as they say nowadays. As time went on, I had my 2 beautiful sons, William and Harry. They helped me move forward. They gave me the strength I didn't have, since living in the castle and in a kingdom was suffocating and sad for me. Every movement, that's how it was. Always watched and calculated. In my marriage, I was happy in the first few months, but then I experienced indifference. A pure and cursed loneliness that enveloped me in every part of my being during those years. My natural smile gradually became a fake and superficial one. I couldn't do anything. I felt like I was on a military base. Even Harry and William, my beloved sons, had to follow orders and behave like adults from a young age. They deserve, just like any other child on the planet, to simply be children playing in the dirt and garden. Over time, they too lost their essence and their smiles. Even Charles always hid what he truly felt. His childhood was difficult. He couldn't play with other children who weren't of his class. He had to become a man with responsibilities at a young age. When I couldn't take it anymore, I made the decision to divorce. And that day was pure hell. I'll never forget the faces of my family when I made the decision. They looked at me like a prostitute, because in ancient times, divorce didn't exist in a kingdom, and a queen or princess who abandoned a kingdom, whether alone by another man or woman, they would kill her. But a king or prince would be allowed everything, but not women. Always in a kingdom,